Hello, everyone. It's Dr. Anna here. I'm excited to be here with you this week of Thanksgiving. And as my friend Ben Azadi says, it's all about vitamin G, the vitamin gratitude or the practice of gratitude. A patient of mine and had said, her name is Marianne Smith, and she had passed away due to metastatic breast cancer. And one thing she always said, it's not about attitude, it's about gratitude. And I think that has been a huge focus for me over this past month, especially as we're heading into the holiday season. And one of the things that it's a military practice actually that I learned of from some military personnel was that about setting an empty place at a table, setting an empty chair or an empty table for those that we've loved and lost during this season, during special events, and certainly through the holidays. It is a practice that I've begun to do as well, that I've done over the last many years, and also setting a candle at that table because the gift of love is it's an eternal flame and it burns within us. One thing we know about energy is that energy is never lost. It continues, it transforms, and it affects us from it affects us in all of our aspects of our lives. So I do encourage you this holiday season to focus, as you're focusing on what you're grateful for, to also be focusing on those you've loved and lost and what and how they've contributed to your life and how to continue their memory. In a recent podcast that I just released with Chris Carr from Crazy Sexy Kitchen, Crazy Sexy Cancer, Chris Carr wrote a book on grief after losing her father. And so that podcast is released. Check it out at the Girlfriend Doctor Show, anywhere you listen to podcast. And it's a lovely conversation. And so during this time, when we see a lot of trauma, a lot of death and destruction, to remember what we are grateful for and who we are, and that includes who we are from our legacy, from our heritage, and to be proud of that. And as we create traditions for ourselves and for our families, how we can help other families during this time of year as well. It was a Thanksgiving not too long ago where my kids and I, we volunteered at a what do you call it? A soup kitchen or a shelter, and we're able to give Thanksgiving meals to others that didn't have it. And so it was really great to spend Thanksgiving that way. And I think even more so to see my children being part of that gift of giving. So with gratitude and giving, paying it forward is really powerful. Now, I know you guys may be dealing with a lot of things in your life right now, many good, many not so good. And I'm here to check in on you. How are you? Um, you're very welcome, Gada. I really want to just check in and see how you're doing. How can I help you? How can I support you? Is there something I can do for you or one of your family members? We have a foundation. This is in honor of my son, the Garrett V. Bivens Foundation. And in that foundation, we give to others who need support, and especially women in crisis. One of the things we've done, and I'm a founding member of, and I'm very grateful that I've been part of this organization and also of this mission, and that is the House of Hope, Refuge of Love, where, if you guys don't know, a percentage of all our profits go to the House of Hope. And it is a home where girls who are ages 12 to 18 who have been sex trafficked can come to a safe shelter, a safe space, and have, education, learn life skills, and be in safe community, feel safe sometimes for the first time in their lives, and not used or abused, and that they are so appreciated for their skills and able to develop and figure out who they are outside of the work that they were forced to do. Gada says on Instagram, she says, I am so depressed about the death of Palestinian children. And I hear you, and seeing that, especially as a mom who To be honest, it's very, very hard because, I buried my own child. I held my own lifeless child in my arms. And so I am triggered too. And getting through this, everything I teach you is to be in the present moment. What makes you feel grateful? Where do you see love in your life? What are you grateful for? How are you loving and expressing love? I recently gave a talk at a conference, a women's health conference, and I gave it on the power of oxytocin. And I shared with people how they can microdose oxytocin in their lives. Also, I shared with them the combating physiology of stress. Cortisol and oxytocin are like two boxers in a boxing ring at a boxing match, and they actually oppose each other. They fight with each other. And that is something that is so true within our own physiology. When we're in a state of stress or cortisol, it is a fight, flight, and freeze type of physiology. So, fight, we want to fight, we want to lash out. Um, so that's fight, and flight is escape. And that can look like many different things. It can be retreating into your own bedroom, pulling the covers up over your head, and, escaping into a book, escaping into your own thoughts. But always go there with being present in gratitude. So fight, flight, and freeze is you don't know what to do. You feel incapacitated. There's no action that you feel capable of making. And that is part of that stress physiology. And that's when cortisol, as a boxer in the ring, is winning. The opponent to cortisol is oxytocin, the hormone of love and connection. It is the hormone of gratitude. It is the hormone of, joy, and is expressed, is increased, certainly in times of intimacy. As moms, we also know it when we give birth. As obstetricians, we inject sometimes Pitocin into a laboring mom, a woman who's contracting, to speed up those contractions. She will actually give exogenous oxytocin. There's other places we can give it in cases of autism, in cases of PTSD and depression. In sexual health, to increase orgasm, we can prescribe vaginal oxytocin, but nothing is more powerful than creating oxytocin or microdosing oxytocin throughout your life. So let me know here in the comments how you increase oxytocin. What are some things that you do? And also just put in a comment, where are you listening from? Where in the world are you right now? At the Girlfriend Doctor, I am grateful to have a business that has members in it from around the world, and my employees are from around the world too. It is a very international, and I just love them, a very international group of people, and different languages, different religions, different faiths, different ethnicities. And that is powerful that we created this culture of inclusivity and care and loving connection among us. In my little world, my house is kind of like that too. I grew up in what I like to call the United Nations. So I see people from Jordan, from San Francisco, from Hawaii, and I'm grateful for you guys all being here. And so I one of those things that I really appreciate is having the diversity and learning from other people. Something my mother taught me at a very young age. And she spoke 4 languages fluently and 3 other languages as well, conversant in 3 other languages. And I would say I speak 1 language fluently and 3 other languages conversantly. Always working on more languages, because my mother told me this. She said that when you travel and learn other people's languages, you learn their culture. You lose just, senses of discrimination and senses of differences, and you can find more similarities than you will find differences. So travel has always been very powerful to me. Dr. Sonal Shudari says, is there any way to increase oxytocin naturally or without medication? First and foremost, it's positive touch. So hugging, kissing, Intimacy, orgasm, sex are certainly ways that we increase oxytocin, and those bond us to other people. In many cultures around the world, the way you greet someone, welcoming, and a hug or a kiss on each cheek, is a way to decrease cortisol and increase oxytocin mostly. The also other ways to increase oxytocin is through laughter. So watching a good movie. I don't know if you guys have seen My Big Fat Greek Wedding. That is probably my most favorite oxytocin increasing film. And yeah, My Big Fat Greek Wedding. Did you guys like that movie? I loved it. And I've seen it a few times. And the second one and now the third one recently. So watching something that makes you laugh, doing something that makes you laugh, having humor and laughter in your own life increases oxytocin. Faith also increases oxytocin. One thing, other ways, playing with a pet. My friend Magdalena has two really fun, beautiful dogs, and she says that is her oxytocin every morning when they jump up when she's awake and they want to go for a walk and they want to give her some loving, and they're all unconditional, right? Pets give us unconditional love. I don't know about cats, but I know for sure dogs do. My dog is named the Sandy, and she's a Aussie. She's a Aussie blend with something. She's a farm rescue, and as soon as I see her, she is like shaking and just so happy to see me. I will say, I wish my kids would greet me like that, with that enthusiasm. So pets definitely increase oxytocin. Doing things you love, giving to others. So giving to others through charity, through gifting, through spending time, tithing, time, and talents. Those three ways that they talk about biblically to give increases oxytocin. So those are good ways beyond prescribing oxytocin that we can increase oxytocin in our lives. So throughout the day, having moments to microdose oxytocin is with humor, with love, with gratitude, with play, with doing things you enjoy. And again, if cortisol is opposing oxytocin, you may not feel like you want to. You may not feel like you can laugh or you can give to others or your tank is empty. A friend of mine, Dr. Jen Landa, said to me one time, she said, resentment is lack of self-care. And the feelings of resentment is when our tank is empty, if our bucket of oxytocin is empty, if we are exhausted, if we have low reserve, cortisol is winning and we feel less joy, we feel less passion, we feel less generous. And that is where, again, you've got to empower oxytocin through the practices that you do on a daily basis and through the thoughts that you keep in your head, positive ideas, positive thinking, focusing on what is good and beautiful and loving and kind and you're grateful for in your life increases oxytocin. So in the blue zones of the world, the areas of the world that have been designated as having the highest number of centenarians, those people that live to over 100 years, have very similar, certain similar characteristics. And one is a sense of community. When you feel safe, you have a good sense of community, people have your back, that also increases oxytocin. Healthy, happy marriages, having pets increases oxytocin. If you have a pet and you know what I'm talking about, tell me what kind of pet you have. My dog is Sandy, and my daughter's horse, Itchy, is a little finicky with giving oxytocin, but it really depends on the energy you approach the horse with. So when I approach Itchy, I totally have to calm. I have to be in the present moment. I have to set positive, thoughts into my mind and relax because they pick up your energy. And it's true for those around us. People around us will feel your energy and will feel your positivity, your nervousness, your anxiety, your fear versus your love, your kindness, your acceptance, your generosity. People will feel that and that difference. So we want to increase oxytocin in our lives and we want to decrease cortisol. That's the balance. Now, when cortisol's up, oxytocin goes down. And when cortisol is up for a long time, both cortisol and oxytocin are low. And this is a dangerous physiology to be in. This is a physiology of burnout. This is a physiology of exhaustion. I get it. I've been triggered, and definitely my PTSD or, past traumas are wanting to surge that physiology to the surface. So it is in my present moment, focusing on what I'm grateful for, focusing on what I love in my life, and focusing on all the good becomes a practice. Ira had asked, I've been diagnosed with POI, so premature ovarian insufficiency, at age 27 after abortion. Dr. Anna, what can I do? I am seeing more premature ovarian insufficiency. First of all, I'm very sorry, Ira, but look, don't give up. I was diagnosed with POI, premature ovarian insufficiency, and early menopause when I was 39 and was able to reverse it. In my book, The Hormone Fix, I tell you exactly how I did that and how that worked for me. I also have seen post-COVID, vax injuries that have affected ovarian function. So if is part of your story, we really can help improve that significantly. So we can help clear and rebalance your hormones, resuscitate your ovary. So I encourage you to let's look and see what else is going on. So part of a workup will include looking at all the hormones, certainly, the cycle day 2, FSH, estradiol, AMH, and LH during cycle day 2, and see what those numbers are. I have a client who was diagnosed with early menopause at age 30. How old is she? Age 33. And she had had 2 successful pregnancies before this, and her AMH was low, her LH and FSH were high. And we've now, just in working and following the protocol for over a month, she has more than 5 times increased her AMH. We still have room to move, but in just 1 month, she increased her AMH fivefold. So that's powerful. So that's encouraging. AMH is anti-Mullerian hormone, and it's a measure of ovarian reserve. And also, the higher the number is, the easier it is to stimulate the ovaries and the better ovarian function there is. So I want to encourage you guys to look at, Ira especially, to look at those numbers and work on a good detox. Support your body, support your adrenals. If you're in fight, flight, or freeze, or if cortisol's winning, increase oxytocin, increase your DHEA, add in adaptogens. Mighty Maca Plus is the adaptogen combination that I used to help me, and that I use as a foundation in my patients. And I recommend it, especially before, during, and after menopause, but it's also good for men as well, and children. Certainly, it helps with our adrenal reserve. So I want to encourage you guys to try that if you haven't. We do have a lot of great testimonials on my website at dranna.com. So definitely check that out and let me know your thoughts. Plus, we have a 60-day money back guarantee. So no loss there. I encourage you to go ahead and try that out. So during this time, of Thanksgiving, I am here to support you. Please reach out. Me and my team are amazing and multilingual. So from wherever in the world you're listening to us, we can probably help. At least there's 5 different fluent languages that we have, and we're here to help you and support you. And as we do, know that we're also supporting other women in crisis. Like I mentioned earlier, that I've been a founding member of the House of Hope. So we help girls age 12 through 18 who have been sex trafficked here in the United States, in Georgia and Southeast Georgia, and created a beautiful home for them. And so celebrating Thanksgiving with them virtually this year, but enjoying giving them space and time to have a safe, happy, healthy holiday season as much as possible, that we can do that. So thank you guys for being here with me. Remember, I am here for you, and I look forward to hearing from you. If you need support, or you're someone who needs support in your life, please let me know. We have a foundation. We help women in crisis through the Gare V. Bivens Foundation. So thank you guys for being here. God bless you all. And I look forward to spending the season with you in gratitude. And as in gratitude, thinking of those who are suffering and what we can do to give back, give forward, pay it forward, help support others in our lives this season. So happy Thanksgiving. God bless you.